So there we were at the annual neighborhood barbecue, the smell of grilled burgers and the sound of laughter filling the air. My brother-in-law, Dave, had always been a bit of an oddball, but this time he was on a whole new level. As we sat around munching on chips and guzzling lemonade, Dave declared, "I can communicate with squirrels." Now, Dave's always had a knack for getting attention, but this was a new one, even for him. The rest of us shared a skeptical glance, but hey, it's Dave, we were ready to roll with it. Dave, with his signature swagger, strolled over to a nearby tree where a particularly plump squirrel was munching on an acorn. He crouched down, furrowed his brow, and began making a series of bizarre squeaks and clicks. The rest of us stood in a semicircle around him, trying to stifle our laughter. The squirrel paused, its tiny eyes fixed on Dave, as if pondering the meaning of life, or maybe just wondering if Dave was a walking nut himself. Minutes ticked by, and we were all getting a bit restless when suddenly, Dave jumped up, eyes wide with delight. He communicated back, Dave exclaimed, his voice a mix of triumph and something akin to bewilderment. We leaned in closer, eager to hear the profound message from our furry woodland friend. He said, "Nuts about you," Dave announced proudly. The squirrel, meanwhile, had resumed munching, seemingly unperturbed by his newfound fame. It was a moment of pure absurdity, and we all burst into laughter, realizing that the squirrel wasn't confessing some deep affection, it was just placing its dinner order. Dave, however, stood there with a grin, basking in the glory of his supposed Dr. Dolittle moment. In the end, we all agreed that while Dave's talents might not actually bridge the gap between human and squirrel, he certainly had a knack for cracking us up. As the evening wore on, and the sun dipped below the horizon, we couldn't help but chuckle at the idea that sometimes, the most profound message you can receive is just a nutty dinner request.